Okay, good glorious greetings, everyone. Because I don't know what time you'll be watching this, but I hope that you're having a glorious day. Um, we've got a little peak of sun outside, and that makes me happy. So today I'm going to give you I want to say, brief summary of of 3 of the 8 natural laws of health that I've been discussing this week, and we'll see how brief it's going to be. One of the things that I noticed is that when I'm doing the videos, I have a tendency to kind of lose track of my thoughts. So I made me an outline so I could follow, so it can be more fluid for you, and I don't have to go on random rants. So what I wanted to do originally was give you some information that's going to help you follow the 8 natural laws of health. Because when you can get some understanding of how these laws play into your life, then maybe you can make some room for them. Okay, a lot of times we have very, very busy lives and so much to do that we just don't think about what it entails to really take care of these marvelously and wonderfully and fearfully made machines that we call our bodies. So, once again, our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we can trust the infinite wisdom that resides within these bodies in us, okay? And allow that wisdom to guide and direct our every thought, word, and deed. And it is a reasonable sacrifice for us to offer our bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. Now, God is love. And so many of us say, I love God. Well, then that means you have to love yourself. Okay, that's another rant. But I'm going to get to my program today. So far we've talked about nutrition, and under some of the points that I wanted to make, or I want to summarize, was that I discussed with you how to shop wisely for the benefit of your health and well-being, instead of just continuing with the trends or fad diets, social suggestions. I mean, say for instance, somebody's inviting you to a party and it's a bring a dish thing. So, back during Thanksgiving, I brought my nutritious dishes. And my family members made a comment about it a few days later, okay, because they were not accustomed to the type of food that I brought to the table. But I explained to them that the reason I did that was I wanted them to try, kind of thinking outside of the box or eating outside of the box. And they said, no, it's Thanksgiving. We're going to do what we want to do. And next time we invite you for a Thanksgiving dinner, you bring the usual Thanksgiving stuff. So, social suggestions or social, I want to say pressures. So, yeah, that didn't go over too well. Now, back to the real deal. If and when we have dis-ease or discomfort in our bodies, we need to try to seek out what's the cause of the discomfort or dis-ease, okay? And a lot of times it might just be something that we could shift our thought patterns to, and transformed by the renewing of your mind. It may be that you don't need so much nachos and cheese. You can make another selection, make another choice, is what I'm going at. Okay, and so when we seek out the cause of the symptoms, we can seek counsel for correcting the environment in order to heal the body. Now, many of you know, because I just say it all the time, I am a certified diet and lifestyle counselor. And what does that mean? That means that you can get in touch with me, and I will first of all, in prayer and in spirit, guided by spirit, sit down with you and let's see what you can change, what you might need to change, what you might want to change, okay? And then we go with that instead of saying, well, you go over here and you get this pill and you swallow this and you swallow that. Not necessarily. Diet and lifestyle counseling does not mean that I tell you what to do. I ask you to seek within yourself your infinite wisdom, okay? And let's work together and find out what you can or what you are willing to do, because what you can and what you are willing to do are going to be the best, are going to give you the best results, because you'll stick with it. You'll do it because you're committed to yourself, all right? Okay, so now where am I going from here? Okay, so a couple of things that we need to focus on under nutrition is cleansing of the body. Now, you know I'm going to scripture. I think it was Jesus that said, it's not what you put into your mouth that defiles the body. It's what comes out of your mouth that defiles the body. And I'm going to observe that in two different patterns. One is what's coming out of your mouth. If you're spewing gossip, negativity, anger, resentment, then out of the heart a man speaks, all right? So pay attention to what you're saying. So you're saying, oh, I don't like no avocados. I'm not going to eat no avocados. Well, have you ever tried an avocado? So sometimes when I have given classes, I bring things that people have not been introduced to. And they'll say, what is that? And I'll say, oh, that's avocado and da-da-da-da-da. No way. Okay? So opening your minds to different things. In the meantime, kind of closing your mouth and exploring. Think outside the box. Okay? Yeah, you know what box I'm talking about, the Jack in the Box and yeah, all those boxes. Okay. All right. So we want to cleanse the body from the inside and the outside, because when you and I'm just going to go there, cleansing the body from the inside may be drinking some detox teas, drinking some warm water with lemon every morning. That gets your day started. And increasing your water intake. Those are some things. And when it comes down to it, enema, okay? Or more proper noun, colonics, okay? Let's do some at-home colonics, some at-home cleansing, because you've got stuff stuck up in the intestines and things that have probably been there for years. Not a good thought. Okay, so, and then cleansing the outside of the body. You want to take a shower every day or a bath, okay? Whatever is convenient for you. But you want to get the stuff off the outside of your body. And most prevalently, try to take your shower, at least one of them, in the evening or at night before you go to bed, because a nice warm shower gets you all nice and relaxed and gets you ready to sleep. Okay, now we want to talk about vitamins and minerals because they're important to our well-being, our overall well-being. So, um, we also talked about healthy food selections, and I think I told you a little about healthy processing. Okay, like washing your fruits and vegetables, and maybe putting a little vinegar in the rinse water, or a little a baking soda, things like that, to take off some of the chemical deposits and stuff. So then you're going to cleanse the outside of your fruits and vegetables. Okay, and be perfectly honest, I have always in my family, we always washed the meat. If we were going to do meat, that chicken got washed first. Well, rinsed. I mean, we're not putting soap in it or anything, but rinsing off the old stuff. Okay. I'm not doing as much meat anymore, but I still wash it. I will even wash ground meat, okay? And it's just a matter of you wash the outside, take it out of the package, and wash the outside of it. So proper handling and processing of the foods that we're going to eat, because one of the reasons that we're going to do that is because there should be essential vitamins and minerals that our body needs. And so when we're eating, we're not eating just because we like the taste of nachos, or just because we like Church's Fried Chicken, you like the way it tastes. We're going to upgrade a little bit on some of this stuff. All right, so what we want when we're selecting food is to get the highest ROI, okay, rate of investment on our nutritional selections. Now, the essential vitamins and minerals that we need in our body are A, B, C, D, E, and K. We're not going to mess around with F, G, H. Okay. But A, B, C, D, E, and K. Now, this K is vitamin K. And then we have a K plus, which is actually potassium. I'm going to get to that one in a minute. So when you have deficiencies, or some of these nutrients are low, and every now and then you will take a blood test at the doctor's office or something like this, and then the doctor will say, well, you're deficient in this, or you're deficient in that. Most often what you find is, well, you're anemic, but magnesium, potassium, and sodium are more difficult to determine in as much as how much you have on a regular blood test. You have to ask for it specialized. But if the doctor determines that you have a low result on either one of those are very important, and so they will generally tell you to do something about it. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a pill or something else. But if you consult with me as well, we can I can tell you some other things, okay? Some natural healing tips, okay? So let's look at some of the symptoms of some of the deficiencies we can have. So, and I told you that K plus stands for potassium. So if your potassium, your magnesium, or zinc are low, these are very important minerals. And some of the symptoms from deficiencies in when these are low, when these are significant low, you got that. You know what I'm trying to say. I got all tongue twisted. So in particular, with things like magnesium, potassium, well, I'm familiar with the zinc um, things, because I go into my books like many times with dealing with my own health issues. Okay, and so I'm always studying and researching and looking to see what else has been suggested. So magnesium, potassium, and zinc. Some of these, when we're deficient in any of these, we can experience fatigue and weakness, shaking, pins and needles, kind of like when your foot goes to sleep. Okay, when your leg goes to sleep, that's when your fingers go to sleep, that kind of thing. The pins and needles effect that you get from that. Muscle spasms, okay. Oh, leg cramps in the middle of the night. All right, hyperexcitability and sleepiness. So if you're tired and you want to go to sleep, okay. So most recently, I've had experience of when I eat, I get sleepy. Okay, so what was causing that? What was causing that was that one thing, when you eat, all your blood kind of goes to your tummy, depending on what you've eaten. And if you eat a heavy food or high carb food, then that's going to make you kind of lethargic and kind of sleepy. You want to take a nap after. Yeah, try not to. Anyway, okay, so low sodium, you might experience muscle spasms, weakness, twitching, or even convulsions. Okay, um, irregular heartbeats, confusion, blood pressure changes, nerve system changes, and bone disorders. Okay, so suddenly your doctor wants to do a test for bone density, or and wants to diagnose you with osteoporosis and things like that. And as we get older, we pay more attention to these things. Okay. um, Zinc, I don't know if I mentioned zinc yet, but zinc is an essential nutrient that our body needs. And some of the symptoms for that are going to be hair loss, eye problems, changes in your nails. Your nails may become brittle. And the zinc is kind of a special creature, because we haven't been looking at a lot of zinc previous to COVID. But now that we've had the COVID thing, then everybody's like, oh, what is this zinc stuff? Where do I get zinc? So there are natural ways to get it. And it's going to be in red meat. It's going to be in your lamb, your beef, and pumpkin seeds and almonds, for those of you who don't do much meat. Okay, those have the highest concentrations of zinc, but zinc is very important. So now I'm going to run on over to sunshine, because that's one of my favorite topics. Okay, so sunshine is important for the production of serotonin, which is the happy hormone. And the vitamin D is synthesized in the human skin by exposure to sunlight. The liver has the most important role in processing of vitamin D. So just by exposing the skin, and especially if you can expose the abdominal area. Now when the weather gets a little warmer, we might be taking off a little more clothes and going to the beach and stuff like that. But as you exposing more of the skin of the abdominal area, it aids the process by I lose my words sometimes. It aids the process. Okay, I'll go there. But any skin that you expose is going to go through the process. All right, just some areas or have a little more beneficial, and the liver is in this area. Okay, so if you can expose this area to the sunlight, and um, 15-20 minutes in the height of the sun, about 11:30 in the day should be a good time, and about like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. That's the good time because the sun is at its zenith, and so the ultraviolet rays are more intense, and so you don't need to be out there too long. Okay. um, okay. Okay, there are some signs for low vitamin D because vitamin D is produced by the sunlight. Okay. Um, some of these symptoms are fatigue or not sleeping well, bone pain and achiness, depression or feelings of sadness, hair loss, believe it or not, muscle weakness, loss of appetite, and getting sick more easily. Vitamin D is proficient in our immune system. Zinc is too. Vitamin C is too. Okay, so get your vitamins, get your sunshine, and when you go outside, enjoy. Enjoy the trip, enjoy the adventure, enjoy the sunshine, appreciate it. So, trees photosynthesize the oxygen that we breathe. So remember, it's okay to hug a tree. Yeah, I did it all the time. I like trees. I like trees very much. They have a very important role in our processing the oxygen to kind of clean up our air. Okay, and it really breaks my heart when I see so many subdivisions coming up. I appreciate that they're building homes for people, but it breaks my heart that all the trees are being mowed down. Okay, we need our trees. The trees help us breathe. So get your sunshine, appreciate your sunshine, appreciate the trees, and while you're at it, just appreciate the birds and the bees too. I'm just saying. Okay, I'll get back to my thing. And the next one that we talked about was water. Water is the most essential of all of the elements in the human body. Our bodies are made up of approximately 70% water. Water is what forms the cellular structures in our bodies, and it has been researched that the human body can go without food for up to 2 months. But without relative consequences, the body cannot do without water for a maximum about 3 days. That's important. And the thing that I was thinking about, well, if water is so important and we really, really need it, God made us that we can breathe on our own. And we don't have to think about it. But he gave us the responsibility to get the water in. Whoa. Okay, anyway. By the way, the brain uses that 70% water that our body is made of. The brain utilizes pretty much 80% of that 70%. Who'd have thunk it? Okay, let's go on here. If or when we don't get enough water, we go through processes of dehydration. And one of the things I tell people, one of the first signs for me to get dehydrated is I notice the little lines on my fingertips, or I'll notice that the palm of my hands are not so pink. They're nice and pink today. My circulation is going well, and I'm fairly well hydrated. But if I weren't, they would lot more pale and um, crinkly. Okay, they wouldn't be so nice and pink like they are now. So this is what you can do. You can look at your hands and tell, you know, oh man, I need to drink some water. So the some of the progressive consequences of dehydration can be headaches, dark colored urine. You don't pee too much during the day, and then when you do, it's like all yellow and you weren't taking anything to make it yellow. That's a very good sign, okay, that you haven't drank enough water. Sluggishness and fatigue, bad breath, dry mouth. Anybody ever wake up in the middle of the night with a dry mouth? Dry eyes. Okay, all these things have mucous membranes, dry nose, you know, and especially if you're living in a smart home or a place where you have central air and heat, and the AC units take out the humidity. We need a little bit of humidity, okay, to keep things going here. Everything needs a little water, all right? So one other thing, you get sugar cravings when you're dehydrated. Okay, so it's your body telling you, well, in all actuality, it's your body telling you it would just like a nice piece of juicy, sweet fruit, okay? Because that's the most natural thing. However, sugar cravings kind of like are and the same thing. However, we have been so socially conditioned to go grab a candy bar as opposed to going get an orange or a piece of watermelon or cantaloupe or something like that. So pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you. Okay, also tiredness, fatigue, dizziness, low blood pressure. Dehydration can cause low blood pressure. So that's it for nutrition, water, and sunshine. That's my summary, and I hope this information helps you a little bit. I'm available to accept phone consultations. We can use things like, I don't know, Facebook Messenger, Marco Polo, the apps where we can see each other, okay? And I'm working mostly remotely these days. So I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you have a most glorious day. Thank you.